The scene begins with a focus on two gravediggers. As they're digging and chatting, we find out that they're digging Ophelia's grave. And one of them thinks that Ophelia committed suicide. In Shakespeare's days, people who committed suicide were frowned upon and didn't receive as many funeral rites as people who died in other ways. As the gravediggers dig on, one requests the other to fetch some alcohol and begins to sing. Upon seeing this, Hamlet says,
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that sings at grave making?
Hamlet is offended by the gravedigger's disrespectful attitude, so he goes to have a word with him.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
We learn that the gravedigger is digging a grave for a woman who recently passed away. He goes on to speak about skulls and pulls one out, saying that this one is 23 years old. Hamlet finds out that this is a skull of Yorick, the dead King Hamlet's old jester, a man who used to make Hamlet laugh and brought happiness to everyone. Hamlet reflects on how pitiful it is that Yorick's amazing wit and charm are now reduced to a mere skull. He also reflects on how even someone as powerful as Alexander the Great could be reduced to ashes, which would then be used to patch up a hole in a wall. At this point, Claudius and Gertrude, along with Laertes, enters the scene with a coffin.
What ceremony is?
Laertes asks what other funeral ceremonies his dead sister will receive, but since her death was most likely because of suicide, she doesn't get the proper funeral others receive. In fact, the priest says that he's already given her all the rites that he could possibly give, and says that shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done.
As Gertrude scatters some flowers and says her goodbyes, it is now time for the final farewell. But Laertes has a difficult time saying goodbye, and he jumps into Ophelia's grave to hold her one more time.
Hold off the earth a while, till I've cut her once more in my arms.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil takes thy soul.
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Enraged and acting crazy again, Hamlet barges off, and with the scene coming to a close, Claudius reminds Laertes to keep his cool, since they have already made a foolproof plan which will result in the death of Hamlet.